The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. Keith Tebow from FRC Media. After a week off, we're back with the mayor of the City of Fall River. We usually speak with Mayor Paul Coogan every Wednesday, and we are back again this week. Mayor, how are you?
I'm doing okay, Keith. How's it going?
Good. Since we last spoke, the city had the big holiday 4th of July event down at the waterfront at 3 locations, the Veterans Memorial Park, the Norton City Pier, and of course, at Heritage State Park. And it seemed like everything went well and it was well attended and it was a beautiful night and it worked really well for everyone.
Yeah, it was, if you remember last year when I ordered the fog to roll in so people couldn't see the fireworks, I took the entire blame for that. But this year the fireworks were good and we had no problems. We had 3 venues going with a packed house at all 3. The estimate from Heritage Park alone was over 4,000 people. So there were people up and down that whole boardwalk. And I mean, we had to close the Wall Street at the end because of the crowds that were walking to their cars or walking home. So it was great. No arrests. Everybody seemed to have a good time. It was an overall very quiet night and a lot of fun. I got to thank the performers, thank the DJs, and people seem to really appreciate it. I know most of the food trucks sold out, so people went down there, spent a little bit of money, and had a good time, which is what we want people to do.
And I know in some ways this is sort of the second year of a lot of the construction of Route 79, and you know, parking was an issue. You didn't hear any issues in terms of parking, people getting down there, and I know there were some shuttles that were being worked in as well.
Right, we had the shuttles running. We made a deal with the MBTA right at the end to open up their lot to give us 100 spaces there. People find parking when it's worth going to, and I saw cars the whole way down. We were coming down President Avenue, so people made an effort to get down there to enjoy the night. It's the best place in New England to watch fireworks. You're right on the river. There's no distractions, and it went very, very well. I was very, very pleased with the effort, and by 10 o'clock the next morning, the place was spotless. We had a number of kids from Durfee that came and helped us clean. I was down there, DCM, state guys at Heritage Park. We had that cleaned up in a jiffy, and you couldn't tell there were thousands and thousands of people there the night before.
Yeah, that's always good to hear. And, you know, now that, you know, it's more of a tradition now in Fall River, right? Not only this, but the events that your administration in the city has helped sponsor along the waterfront, and that's going to only continue. And that's all positive for, you know, getting foot traffic down in that area. And it'll be even better when Route 79 is done, right? It's still a couple of years away, but.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. I remember when I first got elected, I went down there and it was the fireworks. And I was walking around Heritage Park and people were just sitting on blankets waiting for the fireworks. And I was like, there's got to be more we can do with this. And it kind of has grown since then. And now we've had it in the other venues. And at Heritage, we brought a DJ down right away. We coordinated with food trucks. We tried to have some kids games the first year, but those weren't really a benefit to the night. But now we have a format and we have an idea of what we want to do. And it's only hopefully going to get bigger and better.
I know when I was a kid growing up, there was fireworks used to be at Kennedy Park, down at the bottom.
Absolutely.
Basically, we used to sit on the, you know, the hill heading down there. And you're right. It's funny. The little things like adding music and adding food trucks really enhances the experience. Because again, we used to need to get there, you know, hour and a half, 2 hours early just to get a spot. And then you were just like, you know, you were mingling with people, but it's good to have that entertainment. It always helps. So anyway, and that will continue with activities throughout the city. Again, as we're speaking this Wednesday night, the summer evenings in the park will continue. I believe it's at Father Kelly today.
Father Kelly, 5:30 to 8:30. Our partners in the Narrows and Bristol County, I believe, is our sponsor on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It kicks off tonight, and hopefully people come down to Father Kelly. If the weather holds out, we'll have some music and some games and a little cookout down there, and we hope to see you there.
Something else that has been a tradition for quite a long time, over well over 20 years, is the work that has been done primarily with Fall River, Greater Fall River Recreation, working and partnering with the city and the school department and the housing authority. The summer lunches in the parks that kicked off last Monday. That always appears to be a big event, and again, those have expanded as well. Not only with activities, of course, the lunch is the key part, making sure that our youth remain fed, but also adding those activities, and that's something that has been a big success over the years as well.
Yeah, that's another great part of summer and fall. If you drive around, and the kids in the blue shirts are sitting at the picnic tables waiting to serve kids lunch. It's very, very positive, and I've already been to a couple of them. I've already been in a couple of schools this week that are running summer programs. So, like I said, it's a very busy time, and people know that whether it's grab a lunch, go to an event, or go for a swim at Lafayette Park. There's a lot of stuff going on. We want people to stay engaged and have some fun, and it's one of the best parts of my job as mayor to see the activities going on in the city of Fall River.
All right, and finally this week, with a new fiscal year starting last week, there are a lot of people who like to look at how the city spends its money, and I know that with the American Rescue Plan Act funds, which came out since the pandemic, the city has taken advantage of that. There's still some money left. The money needs to be allocated by December of 2024, so December of this year, but spent by 2026. What's the status of that in terms of, is there still money available? What are some of the big projects that some of that money is going to go toward between
Well,
now and actually 2026?
there's still money that hasn't been spent, Keith, but I don't know about available. Obviously, we
Okay.
have to do something with Lewiston Street. That's an area in the city that needs a ton of attention, whether it's trash, potholes, cement. That area is home to one of the major functions of city government, and we have to fix that up a little bit. They're building some new condos right on the side of the building. The place is an eyesore, and we're going to tackle it for the guys that all work down there. So that's one of the things we have to do. We also have to address a pre-K issue that's been festering in the city for a little while. This year, as you know, we're going to have a partnership with the old Bishop Conley to get us through this year. But our goal would be to modify the old vocational wings at the original Durfee High School up on Ellsby Street. But that includes a new roof for the building and sprinklers. We need the sprinklers, the building. We get those two things done, and we're off and running, and hopefully we can have that done by September of next year. So we're working on that now. But these are the things that are taking a good chunk of what's left for money. Obviously, there's going to be odds and ends we're going to pick up along the way, but as far as money available for ARPA, for any new spending, it's there's not a lot there, believe me.
And in terms of projects that have already been funded that may have maybe even been under budgeted, can the city take that money back and reallocate? And again,
Right.
that would have to be done, I would think, also by the end of this year,
Well,
correct?
it is. It's the same principle. If we give someone $100,000 and they're not able to commit to spending it before 26, and it's the end of the year, and we need $20,000 of it for a new phone system at DCM, or I'm just using it as an example, we're going to take the money back and do something to make the city a better place to live and take that bill off of taxpayers that would come due. So all the time we're doing all these projects, these would be in the tax base, either Massachusetts or the city of Fall River. So we're trying to alleviate future bills and make the city a better place to live.
All right. All right, Mayor Paul Coogan, as always, thank you for joining us. We'll talk again next week. Take care.
Thanks, Keith.
All right. And thank you for joining us here on FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great rest of your day.